What's up, guys? Echo036, and I come back at you with some flea market finds and some thrift finds. I had a pretty good weekend at the flea market. I had a pretty good find. It wasn't complete, but it was still a very good find. I'll get to that here in a little bit. But first, I want to go over some flea market finds I had for the NES. I got Space Shuttle. I did not have some of these Muscle, Conflict, and Kung Fu. I already had this one, but didn't hurt to get it for $2. And I did a trade with someone on Craigslist. They said they had a list of games, and they said, hey, trade me some games for the games, and these are the only games that I didn't have out of his whole list. And I traded him Kirby's Adventure, and I believe it was two other games. I can't even think about it right now, but these were the only ones I didn't have that he had. Was City Connection, Afterburner, well, I think it was like Double Dragon 2 and some other game, and the Three Stooges. So we went cart for cart, and he had 3 and I had 3, so we made the trade. Which is funny because I seen the listing again, like he relisted it, and Bionic Commando was in there too, and he put those games in there. He put the same thing, looking to trade these games, and he put the same thing, and he listed my games in there. So I'm not sure really what he's going for. And he was, because especially since he was like, yeah, I've been wanting to play these games because I used to play them as a kid, but he relisted them back on Craigslist, saying he was looking to trade those games with his list of trades. So not sure about that. I saw on Craigslist a little thrift shop here close to my house. So I go over there, and it's because they had an advertisement for like 30 NES games. So I go over there, and they were like, no, someone came and bought them all. So someone bought all the NES games, but he did say that guy did leave a couple of games behind because he thought they were asking too much. But for $10, I got 2 box games. They went ahead and cut me a deal on that. Blaster Master and Super Mario 3. And so this is my second Super Mario 3 box. It is not complete, doesn't have the manual, but I have an extra manual. So it does have some little rips on the bottom, but nonetheless, it's a box Super Mario 3, which I saw one at the flea market actually. Now that I bought one off eBay, I'm running into these. I saw another one at the flea market, but it had a child's writing on it, and the guy wanted $15 for. He goes, well, it has the box, and I was like, well, it has child's writing on it, so good luck trying to sell that. But I got these two, and also there at that little thrift shop, he also gave me the Super Putty, and I paid $5 for it, which I think it was a little bit too much for this game, but $5, and it gets a conversation going, even though it might not have been the best deal. It gets a conversation going about video games. I say, hey man, just give me a call. I gave my number. I said, text me whenever you get some games, and I don't mind just throwing some extra money your way. So we got the dialogue going about video games, and letting him know that I'm not a reseller. I'm not gonna go around and resell his stuff. So so we'll see where that goes. And at the flea market, also got this Joe Montana football. I got it for 50 cents. And the guy was, this is the only game he had on there. And the reason I wanted it because of the case. I got some games I need cases for the Game Gear. So, Joe Montana football. I got Tetris DX. So, I got this for 50 cents. The lady, she was sitting on a chair, and I said, how much is this? She's like, just give me 50 cents. And so, I haven't played this version of Tetris, so. And at the little thrift shop, I also got a Cosmic Creeps for $3, and I like picking up these off the wall 2600 games. I'm not a 2600 game collector. I don't know what's worth what. I don't know what the rarity levels are. I mean, I can go to AtariH.com and look it up, but I'm not much of an Atari person. But I do like buying these off the wall games and just trying them out to see what they are. So I picked this up, and whenever I do see one that's like a uncommon that I don't see, like either Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, your regular standard Atari games, if it's something different, I'll pick it. It's cheap, I'll pick it up. And one thing I've been wanting for a while I have a Atari 2600 four switcher, the four switcher, the with the wood grain in front, and I have been wanting a six switcher, and so, but I was gonna be impatient because, like I said, I'm not an Atari guy, but I would like to have a six switcher. I've always been wanting one, and at the flea market, lo and behold, it's a little bit dirty. I haven't cleaned it up yet, but I did find a six switcher, a heavy sixer, as we call it in the collecting world. It did come with the plug, and it did come with. I haven't tested it out or anything. I haven't got a chance to, but it's really nice to get a heavy sixer. I've been wanting one because, you know, they just really look nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my four switcher. So, and also, before I forget, where I got that Joe Montana Game Gear game, I picked up Sonic CD, but this is the PC version. It says Windows 95, so it's not the Sega CD version, but it is. And you know, he gave it to me for $0.25, so I really couldn't turn it down for $0.25. But it was just kind of weird to find it, and I just picked it up, and I asked him for what he wanted with that Joe Montana game and this one. So he just gave it to me for cheap, and you know, he was even nice enough to give me an extra bag to put it in so it won't get scratched up anymore. So, and that guy's done me right. You know, when my first Atari 2600 I bought at a flea market was from him, and you know, he sold me a bunch of stuff for real cheap. I think he even sold me one time a Super Nintendo for $1, because this guy's just like, if he just looks at it, he's like 50 cents, dollar. You know, he's you know, he looks like one of those carny guys with the mullet, you know, with the mullet and the hat, and you know, really squirrely guy. But the guy's done me right. You know, when I do find something there, he's never overpriced anything. So I just bought it off of him. And then here to the final thing, and this, I was at the flea market, and I walk into this booth, and she had just a bunch of little toys and stuff. And normally when someone has the little toys, I'm usually looking for Mario Brothers Happy Meal toys. I'm mainly looking for that. I'm mainly looking for old school video game toys, like old Sonic toys, things like that. So I walk into her booth. She's got a bunch of Beanie Babies and little McDonald's toys, and so I'm walking through there, and I'm turning the corner of her booth, and because she had it kind of angled like this, and she had two tables, and so on the corner I see this looking at me, and I looked right back at it, and I was just in awe that it was just there. And I'm going to show you guys real quick what I saw, and it is a boxed Nintendo Deluxe set with Rob the Robot, and it is a little bit bent up right here, but I'm not going to complain, because to find this, I mean, it was just awesome. I mean, it was just awesome to find. I'll show you the back of it. Like I said, I think the only part that's nicked up really bad was that part. The little handle keeps popping out, but I don't plan on grabbing it by the handle. So this was staring right back at me, and it was in the corner, and I'm glad I just walked in there. And so I asked her, you know, well, first of all, I just picked it up, and I kind of looked at it, kind of acted like, you know, you know, I just told her, wow, this looks like fun. And she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm mainly just selling it for parts, because it's not complete. And I was like, okay, what do you mean by parts? I mean, I was like, what, you know, does it have just a controller, a couple controllers in there, or does it have, you know, just a manual, a couple manuals? And I was like, well, can I open it? And I tried to be real quick about it, because I don't want nobody coming over my shoulder and trying to, you know, let her know that, you know, it's worth a little bit more. So I try to be real quick, and so let me show you guys what's on the inside. It came with both styrofoam pieces. It came with both of them, and as you can see there, and as I'm opening it, I'm like, please have the crucial parts in there. I was like, I really didn't know what to expect. So as I'm pulling it out, I'm looking, and then I see this in there. And first thing I do is, and I'm like, and I see Rob the Robot, and I'm like, please have the claws, because I've been looking for the claws for a long time. I mean, it's been a long time. And when I pull it out, sure enough, still a little bit dusty. He has both claws. I mean, just to get the claws was awesome, because that's what I've really been looking for. And he does have both of them. And in my mind, when I you know, kind of picked it up and looked at it like this, because I was thinking, please have him, please have him. When I did that, I mean, in my mind, I was like jumping for joy, because I was like, you know, I didn't want to do it right there in front of her. It still has the 2 gyros, which they're both brand new. See, they still have the paper covering, and underneath they're brand new. These are 2 brand new gyros. It came with Gyromite, and this box is, I mean, you can't ask for a better box. It looks like what they did was they just took the Nintendo and the Duck Hunt and the 2 controllers and said screw the rest, and kept it in a box and abandoned the box somewhere. But Gyromite, and it does come with everything. It comes, I mean, this is like, it's still in the plastic, it's still brand new. It has a smaller, it has a small Rob poster in there, and this has everything. It's brand new condition. I mean, the only thing is, I don't think they came with the cellophane around it, but or they didn't come with the H seam and everything wrapped at the H seam. But this is awesome. I mean, this is in really good condition. And then it came with the manuals. It came with 2 of these posters. Let me open up the poster so you guys can take a look at it. It did come with this poster. This one came with the manuals inside, and this one came with the game. It's the exact same poster. One came with the manuals, one came with the actual Gyromite game when I opened it up, but I didn't want to stuff the poster back in there and down up one of the corners. It looks like they just did not even touch these. It came with the big poster, and I might frame this up because I really don't want to damage it, but it came with the poster. And let's see, it came with this Nintendo certificate. It's basically saying look for the seal. If it doesn't have the seal, it's not been approved by Nintendo. So it's saying that, you know, are not guaranteed to meet our standards of excellence and workmanship, reliability, and entertainment value. So if it doesn't have the seal, it doesn't have the Nintendo Entertainment Value. It came with the sunglasses for it. You put them on the Rob, and basically makes them. I have another Rob up here that already has them on. It basically, if it's too bright, it can help with the brightness of your TV and everything. But it came with that still sealed in the plastic. Still has a staple on there and everything. Like no one even took it out. It came with this manual right here. Bonus: join the Nintendo Entertainment Club. Free return this from within 10 days, and has a limited warranty in there. Has the warranty papers. And then it came with the manual. And the manual isn't. I have a manual that came with another Rob that I had that I bought at a yard sale, but the manual's not in this good of condition. Everything's really clean. Then it came with your standard parts. Came with this right here, so it can you put the controller in here, and then it can hit the different ones. And it came with the other part as well, and it came with a spinner. So it came with all that, and wow, this thing is like the battery like exploded in here. So the lady tells me, you know, it's for parts only, and so I tell her, okay, well, how much you want for it? You know, when I looked at it, I just picked up the Rob, and I saw the claws, and I put it back, and I put everything back, and I was like, okay, so I put it back in the box. I said, so how much you want for it? She said, well, consider it doesn't have, you know, the Nintendo in there. Like I said, I'm selling it for parts, so give me $25 for it. So I wasn't even gonna haggle, because for $25, I mean, I'm all in for $25. I'll pick these up all day for $25. So I gave her $25 real quick, and I went on my way, because I don't know why I got like kind of nervous about it, because I didn't want someone to come up and like, you know, tell her like, I'll give you 40 for it. So I was trying to hurry up and trying to be really quick about it. And so I just gave her the $25, because I mean, like I said, there's on this deal that there's no need to even haggle with her. But yeah, this was the find of my, basically my year, because I really found, you know, anything great this year but this. So, but that's all I had.